Yo, what's up, you guys? My name is Ian. I go by the name Clipper Ian on IG. If you guys want to follow me there, I'll leave all my information towards the end. So basically, this is my boy Juan. Uh, I usually give him this haircut quite often. It's a different type of haircut, but like a shadow fade on the side. And I'm gonna start off with my Andis Masters, which is usually what I use to fade. I use a mixture of those and the Wall Seniors. But right here, I'm going to start with my 1/16th guard. My master's closed. And basically, I'm creating this line. Like I said, he's getting a shadow fade. I usually use this line regardless if they're getting a shadow fade or not. I don't really like leaving like a hard baseline to go by. I like doing like a shadow. And then you'll see what I'm talking about as the video goes through. So basically, that's what I do. I run that 1/16th close. And right underneath this, you'll start seeing that I used also the same clipper, the Andis Masters, but this time with no guard, as you can see on the description, all the way open. And I'm basically bringing this to about where I made the first line, but I'm releasing pressure as I go up. And the reason why I do this is because I'm not trying to create another line underneath this one. So I'm basically fading downwards in a sense, but what I'm giving him now is the lowest I'm going to go on the sides, which is, like I said, the Andis Masters open. And you'll see as the process goes that it's a lot easier to manage. You don't have to worry too much about this area when I'm trying to blend the detail work at the end. So I'm just making sure that I get both sides evenly. A lot of the time you get confused with the hair. Sometimes it gets stuck to the skin. So you'll see me on a couple of occasions blow the excess hair off with the air hose, like I do right there. Now, this next step, pretty simple. I'm actually going to change the angle on you guys here in a second, but I'm going to start off like this. So basically, same clipper, and I'm slowly closing the levels on that Andis Masters with no guard still, and I'm fading downwards. So at this point, I'm almost at the last one. I think I do end up closing it all the way as I get lower, and I do the same all the way around. Here I switched up to the brush, to the Andis fade brush, I think they call it. Now here's the other angle I was talking about. Basically, you'll see now I'm readjusting the camera. So I'm just doing some touch-up work there. I like getting everything out of the way off rip, because I don't really like going back at the end of the haircut. If I already have the machine in my hand, then I try to do as much as I can with that machine. And yes, if I have to go back at the end of the haircut, then I will do some touch-up work. So now I'm doing the guard with no guard, with the Andis Masters, and I'm doing it probably up to the second line, so not all the way close, but line right above that, and then slowly working my way down to where it's all the way closed. And then now I'm going upwards. So if I finished off the haircut with that half on the side, then I'm going to do a little bit longer at this point until I blend in that line that connects to that half that I did on the side. And the half, for all you guys that don't know, is pretty much, for me, is the Andis Masters or any clipper with no guard all the way open is what I consider a half. Some people might disagree with that, but that's just the way I've always called it, just a regular half. So yeah, now I'm just going back and forth. As you can see, I'm repeating the steps to work that line out. Nothing crazy. I'm also leaving that excess hair in the bottom because I will come back to get those hairs with another pair of clippers that I use, or trimmers. So here I'm just repeating the same steps as the other side. It's same process. No guard open all the way, so half, and then I slowly close my guard, or my level, until I get to the last one. And you'll see now a little bit better on this side because it's closer on the angle, how it just kind of all blends in together. So now I grab my T outliners. I use a couple of different machines, 2 bulbed out. When it's a thicker texture hair like this, I usually like to do the Andis T outliners, and these are the blackout editions. Had these for a while now, and they cut real close, but this will blend right into the Andis Masters closed, which was the last thing I did at the bottom. And like I said before, like I apply pressure towards the bottom, heavy pressure, and then I release. I'm not trying to create another line here, I'm just trying to remove that hair that was left over. I'm also doing the same on this side here. And it's kind of complicated now, you know, with the mask. People kind of get frustrated. It definitely is frustrating, but you know, gotta make it work. Now here I'm grabbing my shavers. I feel like this is what definitely makes the haircut pop. When you get that tight transition from skin to whatever it is that you're fading to. I'm using the Babyliss or Babyliss, whatever you call them, foil shavers. And I'm doing the same all the way around. I'm not worrying too much about the hair that he has on his face because I know either he's going to shave it or I'm going to blend it in later. And here I'm doing some touch-up work with my Babyliss, I think they're called this, not the skeletons, they're just the trimmers. I'll leave the name in the description. And these are custom, actually. My boy Lethal Cuts. You should follow him on Instagram. He does a lot of good stuff. And basically here I'm doing the lineup with the same T outliners. These hit pretty good. I'm actually in the market to look for a different kind of trimmer to get my edges real nice and tight, but I've been using these for a while now, and as you can see, even on a half on the side, which is what he has, they hit pretty good. And they're cabled. I feel like you always have to have at least one wired or cabled machine in your arsenal, as they like to call it, just in case. I feel like they have a little bit more power. I feel like nothing's really going to match the power of like a cable machine, even though those Andis Masters really are pretty powerful. Same thing as the seniors, which I'm definitely going to use. As you can see right now, I'm going to grab them, and I am running the number 2 guard open all the way around the head. I'm not trying to dig in too much to the back part. As you can see, the fade kind of drops towards the back, and working my way around it. Pretty sure at this point here I close it, but I'm not bringing it up all the way as the original line I started. So it's kind of like a downwards fade process. And then here, pretty sure I switched over to the 1.5, which is a special guard. I'm not sure if they sell these with the combo. Maybe if you in the market, you can find them at your local barber supply. So I started open, and then I close it up as I go around the head. And it's all about, you know, starting with pressure and releasing pressure. You're not trying to create another line. You're slowly trying to erase the main line, the ghost line, as I called it in the beginning. And it'll be a lot easier once you work your guards down. So here I go back to my masters with the 1 guard open, and I'm kind of hitting at that last line without creating another line underneath, and here I close them. So it's pretty much like a fade up, fade down technique. And you'll see as I do the repetitive motions that the lines start disappearing. So here I go back to the 1/16 guard, and I do it open, then close, and I kind of go in between whatever I feel is going to take off the line. Usually I always recommend for people that are just starting off to just try every guard open first. You might not take out any hair, but the important thing is that you're going to start open, and then you're going to start close, or you're going to go to close, sorry. So here I'm just repeating the steps in the back. I'm fast forwarding the video a little bit faster because it's pretty much the same steps in the back and on the other side. Once again, I'm not bringing the back part too far up. I know he wants that like drop effect in the back. And I think here is when I start lining them up here in a second. Just like I said, repeating the steps. He has very thick hair, and stretching out the skin definitely helps. And yeah, going back to the lineup now. These are the Babyless or Babyless. I'm not sure 100% how to say it, but the customs that my boy Lethal Cuts did. I'll definitely leave his access to his stuff on my description, or yeah, in the bottom. You'll see it pop up. Follow him on Instagram. He's also a barber that works here with me at my barbershop, or at the barbershop I work at. It's not mine. It's Frankie the barber. Follow him too. Shout out to Frankie. Now here I'm going back to just touch-up work. I know I said before I don't really like to go back to clippers, but you know, for the sake of the hair that he has, usually at this point I'm done with the fade. Now this is where it gets interesting. He sees the line that he has on the side of his head, but yeah, he wants to keep it. So I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I like the way it looks. I didn't think it looked bad. Kind of had like a European flow to it, European vibe. So I was like, all right, bro, you know, if you want to keep it, you can keep it. You know, customer's always right, even though, you know, you give your 2 cents. But I mean, I've come to the conclusion that what you think is normal here in the United States might not be normal, you know, in South American countries or overseas. It all depends. Everybody has their own taste. I ended up liking the way it turned out. So here I'm just styling it. I think I was using Suavecito, just the regular kind, nothing too fancy. I didn't do anything on the top of his hair because he had cut it a while back, real short, and now he's letting it grow again. But as you can see, yeah, here it actually came out pretty nice. He was just checking in the mirror there. He's like, yeah, it looks nice. So now I'm lathering him up with I think the Elegance gel, like razor gel, and I'm basically just going over certain specific areas with the blade that I use the trimmer with. I don't do his lineup across the front. He doesn't do it. I always tell people, if you're not going to see your hairline across the front, then there's not really a point of you edging it up. In his case, he brushes his hair kind of semi-down, semi-back. You don't see it, so why edge it? I feel like it prevents future balding, if that makes any sense. Anyways, I'm going around his hairline, around his neck with the razor. And this is just touch-up work, like I said, in a sense where you can already see it with the trimmer, but the razor just gives it like an extra 42 hours of extra freshness time, if that makes sense. But you could just do it with the trimmers. In his case, his skin can handle the blade, so I'm doing it with the blade. And here I'm just kind of like readjusting some of the hair that moved out of place. Like I said, he wanted that look. I like it now that I see it. At the moment, I was kind of doubtful, but I think it came out clean. And the next step here is just this back area, like I told you before. I didn't really like the way it looked because of his cowlick, and just touched it up a little bit. This is the other side. Real fresh cut. I like the way it came out. Here I'm just blowing the excess hair out, make sure that there's no hair stuck to his skin, and I like to leave clients as clean as possible when they leave my chair, because you don't know what they're going to do afterwards. And here I'm grabbing his neck hair, his peach fuzz. A lot of clients have this. I feel like this was what makes the cut. I used to get haircuts back in the day, and when a barber didn't do this, it just drove me insane, because I would have a clean blowout, clean fade, whatever the case might be, and I just had that peach fuzz around my neck. So I always said that if I were to do this one day for a living, that I would make sure that that's one of those things that I provide my customers. And here he's asking me to pretty much blend in his facial hair. He wasn't 100% sure what he was going to do with it, whether he was going to shave it or not. So this is good to always do regardless if your customers are doing their beard or not. I don't charge extra for this just because I wouldn't want my client to walk around with a line going across their face, even if they are going to shave when they get home. They might get seen by somebody and be like, yo, like, what's up with that line on the side of your face? So like, I always like to blend it in. So here I'm just going back, same steps, going downwards. I'm actually going to do beards in the future, so I'll show you guys how I do my beards. But here I am showing him the cut. He liked it, I liked it, and I hope you guys liked it too. Here's my information. If you guys want to follow me, the beat was by Real Hits, and my IG is Clipper Ian. See you guys next time.